Welcome to the Transformational Dream Team, to our first series of table talks. You're going to be in for a treat tonight because we have a distinguished panel of leaders, innovators, that's going to share some powerful information with you this evening. And our first topic this evening is This Too Shall Pass. My name is Kent Wise. I'm the co-founder of the Transformational Dream Team, a group of just powerful leaders and innovators. And tonight we're going to kick off our first talk, our table talk, once again entitled, This Too Shall Pass. And let me say this to you, it will pass. You are going to make it. You will prevail. You will succeed. And so tune in, call friends, tune in to Facebook Live, get some people together because we're going to share some powerful information with you this evening that's going to help you get to the other side. So right now I'm going to pass it on to our co-founder, Dr. Robert Lawson.
Thank you so much, Kent. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about having the opportunity to come and just share some information with you. We do have some dynamic individuals with us. In 2019, Kent and I got together and formed this organization along with several other individuals who were interested in doing conferences, seminars, and workshops all across the country and even internationally as well. Topics that we want to focus on are things like motivational empowerment, leadership, and basically just getting things done. So we do have an exciting program for you, and we'll be working with you to take questions and answers as we move forward this evening. So we're going to allow each member, to have a few minutes to introduce themselves.
Well, I'm Audrey Wiggins, and I'm the Vice President of TDT, Transformational Dream Team, and I work with the technology, and my company is Altogether Marketing and help businesses brand.
Okay, good evening. I'm Dr. Patricia Wingard Carson. I'm an energy medicine practitioner for over 25 years. I'm an author, and I am looking forward to having a very powerful exchange with all of you.
Hello, my name is Willie Johnson, and I'm the president of Willie Johnson Communications, which is about consulting and speaking, and I am known passionately as the ambassador of potentiality.
I'm Henry Ford. I'm a motivational speaker and author, president of Ford & Associates, and publisher of Visions newsletter.
I am Ilinda, and I am your transformational coach. And for over 30 years, I have been helping you find your path through your pain, and that's why we're going to do it again.
Hi, I'm Mike Jennings. I'm a motivational speaker. I spent 15 years in the educational system, and then now I'm a realtor. So I've done quite a few things on that end, and I'm here to help and answer any questions that anybody has on the business side, and look forward to talking to everyone.
I am Ella Coleman, and I am a journalist, a minister. I am also a book publisher and consultant. I am so happy to be on this call tonight because I know we're going to have a great time, and that all of us, both those who are participating here and also those who are joining us, they're going to be blessed and will go away with something that they can live by.
Dr. Bob, you want to take it back over?
Some of the things that we're going to be talking about tonight are looking at this whole situation regarding COVID. And I got to tell you, the reason why I'm going here and wanted to chat with you for a few minutes about that in the listening audience is because of a conversation that Mike Jennings and I were having the other day. And he said something that I thought was pretty profound. And I told him, I said, man, when we have this session tomorrow evening, I'm going to put you on the spot. And I would like for you to share with the listening audience, Mike, what you did when you said you kind of grouped this whole situation that we're dealing with into 3 different types of people. And you used a key word in terms of how we handled that. And you said, in order for us to combat this the right way, we're going to have to adapt.
Absolutely. You know, I'm in a field every day where I deal with people, and we have to adapt to the situation. So as we were discussing, I know that when I go to deal with somebody, clients, it's all about them. I'm taking care of the people that I'm dealing with. So I have to understand, and the first thing I have to realize is, number one, where are they at? How are they coping with this? And I categorize them into three. So when I look at people, I can tell, number one, there's some people that's going to stand 10 foot away from me. They're going to have their mask on, they're going to have their gloves on, and they're not going to want to associate, you know, just to keep our distance. And I understand that. I respect that. You know, I'll have my mask on and take care of that situation as well. Then there's some people that's going to come up and they'll get close to you, maybe give you a fist bump, you know, give you a little elbow rub, something like that. You know, and then you just kind of recognize, and there's some people that come up and give you a full-blown hug, you know, so you got to realize that. And when I'm dealing with people, you know, I have to recognize and adapt to the people that I'm dealing with. We all have to do that, no matter what field we're in. You know, I spent 15 years in education and talking with kids, different kids coming in. You have to adapt to that situation. Now in the business field, where our clients who we're talking to, we have to adapt to them and adjust how we react so they're comfortable, because it's all about them. It's all about treating them and taking care of them the best way that we can. And I think that's the three people that you know, you kind of categorize people in, and that's what the three people that I've met so far. So Doc, I hope that answers your question.
Well, thank you very much for that. That's what I wanted the audience to listen to. And then you know, probably the one other thing that folks really need to be thinking about is we cannot operate, you know, the Bible tells us, you know, in Timothy, that we cannot operate under a spirit of fear. And a lot of our a nation is paralyzed right now because they see the stats going up. But we also have to look at the other end of the spectrum. Instead of allowing the tail to wag the dog, we have to understand that a lot of the individuals who are going through this right now are actually coming out as asymptomatic. And what that means is that 98.5% of the population in the United States of America and around the world is going to be just fine regarding this whole COVID situation. Even though people are dying, we have to also look on the bright side. We know that there are issues. We know that there are challenges. We know that, you know, sometimes it might hit us personally. But the fact of the matter is that in the end, we're going to get through this thing.
Talking about this too shall pass, navigating through the stress of our times is going on right now. So anyone feel free to step in. You know, we've talked about things like lack of energy and motivation. Some people have lost their career or job during this time, or even loved ones. Some people have passed away, or we've lost the ability to, you know, to participate in our favorite activities. So that could be stressing, you know, with the restrictions of the physical distancing and other things that we could do. So whoever's next, or if you just want me to call on someone, they can go ahead with Sister Ilinda Reese. Yes.
I'm listening to everything that's being said, and of course we are acutely aware of what is happening in the world. However, what I want to focus in on is what's happening here in our minds, because the fear that Bob spoke about is very real, and it's a reality. However, if we let our mind go there, there's a very real situations. The group has talked about the domestic violence that is 100% increase. And it's because of our circumstances, our situations where a woman used to be able to leave and go to work to escape it. Children could go to school and escape it. But now that we're in close quarters, it's making it tremendously hard to be able to do that. And so as a people, we need to be aware of where everybody is. When Mike talked about how people respond to us differently, we have to be able to discern what place and what space people are in, and be able to give them a word of hope, a word of caution if they need that, or a word of how to be able to deliver themselves mentally, physically, emotionally out of the circumstance.
crises have been happening all over the world for a long time. This is a different type of crisis. And because I've been in the media, I thought I would just speak a little bit to how to handle that, how to handle reports, because all reports are not necessarily, true. As some of them are sensationalized a lot, and I'm not trying to play it down, but I think that we have to kind of guard all that we let go into our ear gates and our eye gates, because what happens is people, if you sit in front of the TV for a very, very long time, you might find yourself being very depressed. I think, hey, look at the news, find out what's going on, get the information, and then, you pray, you do things that's going to uplift your spirit, you go outside and do whatever you have to do, da, 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 da. But if you are, some people were like hooked on television before this happened, and they're kind of sitting there watching. And there's nothing wrong with programs. I mean, there are a few programs that I look at, but I noticed that when I cut back on the TV and spend time doing other valuable things, it tends to make me feel better. So I just suggest, as a person that's been in media who knows some of the things that are actually going on behind the scenes, that don't take everything with face value. You determine, you get the information, and then you can even check. You can go to other sources and check what they're saying. I'm not saying that, that they're lying, but I am just basically saying that we have had people dying from flu and from other things for a very long time. This, of course, is a pandemic, so we really don't want to play it down, but we also want to make sure that we don't let fear overtake us, because once fear overtakes you, you're more susceptible to getting it from what the scientists and the doctors are saying. So we have to say, okay, I still have to live. I still have to do things. I still have responsibilities. I still have children. And I think it's a time when you just have to, buckle down and pray and do everything you can. I'm just saying this, do everything that you can to keep yourself from getting into a mental slump, because that's what will happen if you take it hook, line, and sinker. Don't do that. Fight back with your mind, fight back with your thoughts, fight back with the love of your children. Whatever you have to do, fight back.
That was awesome. Henry Ford, what do you have to say?
Well, one of the things that I've found that helped me, it's helped me through other crises, and it's helping me through this one also, is to keep focus on the positive. I get into a routine every day. I get up and send inspirational messages to other people. I look at ways I can make a positive difference, because what I find is when I focus on other people instead of myself, when I focus on the idea that I can create the news, I don't have to be a victim of it, I find that because of that first of all, I put some of the things out of my mind that I have no control over. And I reach into other people's lives and I find out that as bad as I think things might be, they're much worse off for somebody else. If I can bring a light into somebody else's day, then what happens, it reflects back from them onto me. It's happened that way for the past 30 years or so, since many years ago I met Dr. Robert Lawson, Ella, and some other people, and I just follow their lead, basically. Being a part of TDT means that any time I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling a little down, I just go see what everybody in TDT is doing, and that carries me through. So again, my recommendation is to focus on the positive and realize somebody out there would like to live the life that you're living.
Audrey, if I might just add a couple of words there on focusing on the positive. I just wanted to share with you a couple of challenges that I gave an audience that I was speaking to earlier this afternoon, and it goes like this: when it's hard to be positive, and during this time it is quite hard to be positive, but I told them when it's hard to be positive, have hope, because it works wonders for those who have it. And also to be optimistic, because people who expect things to turn out for the best often set the stage to receive a beautiful result. And I'll throw one additional one in, since I just think it's very, very important. And it goes like this: that we should, in all situations, maintain optimism. Because when you maintain optimism, excuse me, you will think of the bright side, no matter what life brings to your everyday life. And you will gain a treasure within your soul that no worry or hardship that anyone can ever take away. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome, Willie. Yeah, let's come in. Dr. Patricia Wingard Carson.
Yeah, just a lot of powerful information shared, and I can tell it's based on our own personal experiences, and so I want to share part of my mindset on how I get through a situation. Never before, of course, have I lived through a pandemic. But one thing I want to bring to bear for all of us to remember, or to consider, invite you to consider, to remember that we are creators of our reality. And the reality that we're living in now, I don't think none of us really like it. You know, it has shifted everything, but in one sense, it's a transformative time for everyone to recreate a reality for themselves. So the question I ask myself when I'm in a situation that seems insurmountable, but deep down inside, I do keep the hope. But the question I ask myself as I cross this river of adversity is, who do I want to be? How do I want to show up when I get to the other side of this river? Because I know inside that I'm getting to the other side of the river. So with that question, I begin to formulate a methodology or awaken projects that are dormant within me, or something that I haven't finished. Or I remember one time I was going through a serious challenge in life, a divorce. I was going through a divorce, and I was technically homeless. And I was saying, okay, I know I'm going to get through this. Who do I want to be? How do I want to show up when I get to the other side of the river? And that's when I earned my 2 master's degrees. That's when I got in the field of energy medicine. That's when I wrote 2 more books, because I wanted to show up not only empowered, but knowledgeable in a field that gave me, that I had a passion for. And so during this pandemic time, never before have we been forced to kind of self-quarantine and be within our own capsule of a place where we can literally create a different reality for ourselves. Because as Bob said on the onset, this too shall pass. Everything comes so that it can pass. So that when it does pass, how do I want to show up? Who do I want to be when I get to the other side of the river? So I would just remind people that whatever it is, it may be something dusty and rusty that you haven't thought of since childhood, or something that used to give you bliss. You love to write, you love to color, design a color, an adult coloring book, or a children's book, or you love to paint. pull out the canvas, poetry, whatever it is, become that. I am that I am. Become that and stand in that, and use your energy to focus on that. Now, to say some things in regards to what Ilinda was sharing. There's also people in the households that, you know, abuse is real. Domestic abuse is real. I lived through that. This is a good time to start planning your escape. You know, you may not be able to do it out loud or in a way where the person knows that that's what you're doing, but start visualizing your life outside of that. And you'll be surprised that when you align yourself with a concept on how the universe begins to conspire with you in order to help you facilitate that vision. And so whatever the vision is, I say, let's align with it. This is a good time for that.
All I can say is wow.
That was awesome. Sister Audrey, may I interject another
Sure,
thought?
of course. I'd like Kent to follow you, and then Mike.
Okay. Everybody is saying some very, very powerful, true, and realistic things right now, because this is real. And what it does is it makes me, Dr. Carson, when she was talking, you know, it made me reflect on when I was working on my master's degree, and Dr. Reverend Leon Sullivan gave that commencement address. What he said, I'll never forget it as long as I live. He said, "We have crossed the rivers, but the ocean lies ahead." And now, you know, we are swimming in an ocean. We're swimming in an ocean of uncertainty. But again, this too shall pass. And I just want to say that mindset and the approach that you use regarding your mindset is everything. There's a poem, you know, that was written by Walter Wintle. And it goes like this: if you think you are beaten, you are. If you think that you will not, you won't. If you'd like to win, but you think that you can't, it's almost a cinch that you won't. If you think you'll lose, you've already lost. For out in the world, you'll find that success begins with a person's will. It's all in the state of your mind. If you think you're outclassed, you are. You have to think high to rise. You have to be sure of yourself before you can ever win the prize. You see, life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster individual, but sooner or later, it goes to the individual who thinks that he or she can. That is key, and that is critical to success in any aspect of your life.
That's powerful. Before we go on to the next speakers, I wanted to acknowledge those who are joining us by Facebook Live. We appreciate you tuning in to our table talk. Tonight, again, we were talking about our main topic is This Too Shall Pass. And for the past 4 months, the country and the world has gone through a plague, which has put us in a pandemic, something that most of us have not lived through. We've lived through perhaps our own individual hard times, as some of the folks who've spoken already tonight has shared with us, very transparent. And, hopefully that resonates with you and helps you in your own personal situation. So I just wanted to acknowledge everyone who is joining us and those who will, of course, catch us on the replay. Thank you. All right. I think we're up next with Kent and Mike.
Awesome words this evening. And, and I'm reminded of a parable, well, not a parable, but a story in the Bible. When Jesus was going with his disciples, he said, "Let us go to the other side." Mm-hmm. And as they went, a storm came. That storm was tumultuous. It was powerful. But he said one word that was key, one sentence: "Let us go over to the other side." And it coincides with "this too shall pass." So you shall make it, you will make it. But a lot of times storms come, problems come, and I'm really speaking from the heart to those who are tuning in who may have lost a job, lost a career because of COVID-19. You're on furlough, your unemployment is, tricky. You may have even lost a loved one because of this. And it's perilous times. But one thing that I'm rest assured of is that you will make it, because all of us is going over to the other side. I use this acronym when people talk about the NFL, and one time I strive to play in the NFL, and it stands for National Football League. Well, life is the same way. All of us are in the NFL. We're not for long here. And so when you think about it that way, you're going to make it. And there's just some keys that I've learned over the years that when you go through adversity, and we all will go through adversity. This is, what's going on right now. None of us have gone through this right now. But some things that I would think about is like, number one is that you can reassess your life. I believe inside of some of us right now, losing that job may not have been the worst thing, because now you can catapult into your own business right now. You've been hiding that. A lot of times, God hides in you the gift, but it takes a problem to bring it out. It takes adversity to bring it out. Mm-hmm. Because many times we'll sit on it because of fear and trying to be complacent. And I just want to encourage you, don't be complacent. You have one life to live. This is it. In this life, there are no dress rehearsals. This is the real deal. If you have that business, that poem, that dream, all of those things that you want to start it right now. So reassess. Mm-hmm. Number two, reflect. And from my spiritual background, our God is much greater than this. Have faith in that. That COVID-19 is not going to overcome you, because the God that you believe in is greater than COVID-19. And just have faith. Just the word optimism, faith, is just so powerful, because it'll carry you throughout life. And number three, re-energize. Get the energy back. A lot of us, if we were honest and transparent, we've all been hit in our lives. And sometimes you've been what we will call sucker punch, and you gotta take the mandatory 8 count and get back up and use your energy. But I want to encourage you to use your energy right now, because inside of you is a great gift that's coming out. You may have lost a loved one, but God is going to bring you through that. You may have lost energy, and you can't get motivated during the day. But dream that dream, keep going, because you will get to the other side, and this too will pass.
Wow, that was amazing. Yes, this too shall pass. Thanks for those lessons. And I want to respond to something you said about taking this time to reflect or to, to start a business or write a book. And I want to use my niece for an example. So she was laid off, and some things, happened, and she has her cosmetology license. So she was doing hair. So she wasn't doing that, of course, when the salons and everything, that industry had shut down. And she was making jewelry. And I'm like, well, okay. So, I didn't think too much of it. I'm like, all right, a lot of people make jewelry. And she was posting on Instagram, and looked up, she had a Shopify. Then she was making like body butters and shampoo and, and bar soaps and things like that. I'm like, where did this come from? Of course, hindsight, of course, is 2020, but, this creativity. And then she started painting. And I'm like, oh my goodness. My brother is an artist. He's a musician. He's very, very gifted. And he doesn't do it for a living or anything, but at this time, when the word talks about such a time as this, then, like you said, all of those things that were already in her, then they came out at this particular time. And so then now she has a full-fledged business. She's been commissioned to do, big canvases and things, or just the small things, just, for someone else. But, I was just sitting there in amazement of all of this. And of course that would have to go back generations, in our, in our family, line, but there it was lying dormant until this time when COVID-19. So there is a lot of negativity that came with the novel coronavirus, but there's also good things that have come. I myself have personally lost a lot of business because events had shut down or rescheduled. There was quite a bit. One of the things that I supply for events or businesses are promotional items. So if they're not having an event, they aren't giving away pins and shirts and calendars, all of that stuff. So there was a slew of business that I had lost, but but I still had to take heart. And another project I reduced half because it was it fed into the beauty industry, the cosmetology industry. So, I couldn't very well take from that industry and think I was going to do something great. But, but be that as it may, God has his own plan. And I looked up, businesses were doing just like you said, Kent, and they were reinventing, they took this time, to get a new website done. I mean, several, contacts have come to me with that. So, just we have to take heart and don't look at the doom and gloom of it, which means we're taking a short view of things, but, take that long view and just, just continue to, just to press forward and go on with our plans or our goals. If we have to redirect something, it's not that things are denied, they're just delayed, or maybe we go over here. So where you thought you were going to have great success in one area, and that's totally shut down, but now that means other opportunities have opened up for us. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I know Mike has some more to share, and then we'll open it up for, a grand discussion. We can all kind of go back and forth. And if you want to ask any questions of anybody, you guys on Facebook, I've got it up if you want to post a question, and we'll be able to get someone answered for you. Okay, Mike, I'm done. It's you.
Audrey, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said opportunity. I think we have to look at this and look at this time as an opportunity. I see in all reality, families are getting together, having dinner at night together because things have slowed down a little bit. People are spending more time with their children because things have slowed down a little bit. You still have to count your blessings. You still have to understand, hey, some of us needed that. Some of us needed just time to say, maybe it's time just to read a book. Maybe it's time to not focus on our work or our career so much. Maybe it's opportunity that maybe we needed a new career, that we needed to educate ourselves on something different. We have to look at it, like we've heard multiple times here, it's a positive thing. We have to look at as many positives as we can out of it, and that opportunity to go out and make ourselves better. If you're sitting around stagnant, not doing anything, then it's time to get up and do something. It's time to educate yourself and try something new. Get out of your comfort zone. Look at all of us right now. We're on Facebook Live. We were nervous coming out here, and now we're talking to each other, and we feel positive and motivated once again because of our community that we're in right now, because of the people that we're talking to are just positive people that are trying to make a difference. And that's what it takes. Every time I get off of the phone, we talk about it all the time. I love talking to everyone in this group because it's a positive, you feel so energetic after it's finished. You're ready to go change the world. And that's what people need. It's when I sit and watch the news all the time, I don't watch the news because I don't have time, because I've got other things I need to do and I need to focus on. I'm trying to build things that I've never done before. And I talked to Doc the other day, and I told him, I said, I am so busy right now and I love it. There's not many people that say that I am busy right now and I love it. And that's what you got to find. You got to make yourself busy and find your passion and find what you want to do. What's your purpose? Then chase after it. Go for it. It's time to do that. This is a great opportunity for people to take a leap and try something different that they've never tried, they just dreamed of. Well, dreams come true. Jump and try it.
I'm a very positive person. Everybody that knows me knows I'm a very positive person. Somebody told me, if somebody tossed you into a pile of dung with your face in the dung, what would you find positive about that? Well, what I said to them was, I know a perfect opportunity to keep my mouth shut. Okay. Well, even being a very positive person, I understand how this pandemic can work on you because it changes our behavior. It has changed our behavior. I resented the mask because I can't breathe, but I'm forced to wear the mask to help me and other people. I'm forced when I go in a grocery store to look at the floor to see which aisle I'm supposed to go up or down. And if I go halfway and I've missed an item, I just back up. And so I'm only going one way. There's so many things that have affected our behavior with this pandemic. It used to be when I see people, I would smile, an inviting smile, and say, how are you? Well, with the mask on, we don't even bother to say hello or nod our head or do anything. It's just like, just ignore as if that person is not there. So it's changing us inside. It's doing a lot of things. But my suggestion, as everybody has said here, my one suggestion is to find just one person, as Mike said, just one person that you can call And you can say, hey, I need help. I need to talk to somebody. I need a boost. I need a kick in the butt. I need somebody to tell me some resources for finance. I need you. And by you needing me, we all will survive, because somebody said we're all in this together. Well, the truth is we're not, because some folks are living in mansions. They got bowling alleys in their houses and they're entertaining in a different way. But the truth is we need each other, because you don't know what's going on inside of me if I don't reach out. So I have someone, even if it's this team, I have someone that calls me and say, Arlinda, what you doing? Come on, girl, get up. You can do this. Give yourself a kick in the butt and get moving. Come out of this better than where you went in. Come out of the other side of the lake versus the side that you fell in, okay? So I'm just suggesting that we just get people moving. If you know somebody that's living by themselves, give them a phone call just to encourage them and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. I don't want anything. I'm just thinking about you and finding out how can I serve you today.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Feel free to go ahead and everyone unmute so you can just chime right in. Yep, everyone. Yes, yes. Thanks, Ilinda.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what I heard there, Ilinda and Mike, is just the word intentional. You have to be intentional about this. You have to make up your mind, hey, that I'm going to be a blessing to someone, and I'm going to fulfill my purpose. I'm going to make someone else's life better. You know, there's a principle that if you bless someone else or you encourage someone else, you'll get encouraged. And so I just think if you're just intentional about, hey, you know, I'm going to read a book today. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to develop my skills. You know, some people who have been laid off from a job, you know what, it may have been the best thing for you, because inside of you, you're probably a great real estate agent or a great author or something like that, but you were in the wrong profession. And so just get intentional about those things. And, you know, once you make up your mind to do that, and make up your mind to have joy as well. You know, I really say this, try to find something to laugh about every day. Even if you just look in the mirror and laugh at yourself, you know, find something to laugh about. It just gives you joy, you know, because there's so many blessings around here. And if you're thankful for things, you know, when this pandemic hit, I took for granted toilet paper and paper towels. But when I went to the store and found some, I was like, thank you, Lord, because you know what, I just bought it at random. But now, you know, and even now it's kind of scarce. And so it's always something to be thankful for. But you have to be intentional about those things. And that law is the law of the universe. It will work for you every time. It's the law of reciprocity. You reap what you sow. If you sow joy, you'll get that. Peace, trying to help other people, you know, even if your own physical body, this may be a good time for you to recalibrate your body as well, to eat right, to get your proper rest. And I've always said this, that scarcity brings clarity. That many things, there's so many people, and I was caught up in this myself, of just working, and sometimes to buy more toys and to buy more things. Things are good, but your family, your health, I think Mike alluded to it, eating dinner with your children, you may say, oh, I forget, what's your name again? Because you've been so aloof from your child because you've been running from each other's paths. You know, you take them to basketball practice, drop them off, and then you go back to work. And so those type of things are really good to have right now. But it's just that word about being intentional and just making up your mind, hey, I'm going to do this no matter what.
Yeah. And just getting being in the field of energy medicine and understanding that everything is vibrational, everything vibrates. But what you're saying, Ken, is powerful, because energy follows intent. So intend to be happy, intend to get to the other side of the river. And align, I used the word align earlier when I first was speaking, and I want to define that as how I intend it to mean. Is when you align with that vision, that means that your thoughts, because thoughts are energy units, thoughts are things, thoughts turn to things. So align your thoughts, your feelings, your words, your actions, and your reactions. If all of those are aligned on one vision, on that vision or that desire, then that means that you're vibrationally aligned with that vision. And at some point, it has to manifest if you stay on that track, because energy follows intent, but you have to align yourself with the intent. You can't say you have a vision. I know all of us are familiar with vision boards or dream boards. And you put something on there, or you speak an intent, or you want to do something, but then you may get on the phone and you talk the opposite of it. You talk lack. You want plenty, but you talk lack. You want health and well-beingness, but you talk illness and scarcity. So we have to make sure that our thoughts align with our words, and our words align with our deeds. And when you line that up, you become an unstoppable force. You really do.
One thing about this organization is you can call or talk to someone else who has as much energy or more energy than you do. I know Audrey and I were talking to Willie Johnson the other day, and we were talking about this organization and the fact that we had grown. And I got to tell you, that got me really, really excited, because there are a tremendous number of like-minded people who are out there who are looking for the type of vehicle that we have, where they can interact with other positive people and grow and develop. Because quite honestly, as many organizations as there are out there still aren't enough. And we can build this thing, as you're hearing tonight. Can you imagine being a part of something like this, where positivity is exuded, and you can feel the electricity and the flow of energy as you continue to move forward, and every individual is positive? Not to say that we don't experience negativity, but as someone else alluded to earlier, what are we doing with this time? What are we doing, when we're in the home? And how you utilize that time to benefit yourself and so many other individuals is something that can generate a tremendous amount of positive energy and cause you to want to do even more.
Yeah, this is the time to get moving. It's not time to, to sit back and rest on our laurels, and if we're on furloughs or, temporary furloughs or layoffs. This is the time to get creative and just to keep our spirits going and our bodies physically active. And working from home, it has definitely, changed the atmosphere, for me as well, because I do work full time. So getting up, and didn't realize like how much movement that we actually put in a day. If you're going out, somewhere to a job, we have get into a lot of motion. So to be intentional about, taking care of myself, or you taking care of yourself, getting up, because I still get up basically at the same time. The body's on its own clock, to get out and hit the pavement and, go up and walk, mile and a half, and it's just simple. We just have to have the will, that drive to do it. And it's going to have to come from, from deep inside. It's like, what is really my purpose? And, part of our purpose is taking care of ourselves. That's part of our purpose. And, until we can get to the dreams and the goals, the callings that are on our lives that we're supposed to be doing, to help others. So I can encourage you guys to, get up, get active. If you're going to walk around, you live in an apartment building, that's where I'm at, 9th floor, take the stairs down, walk up a few flights. Can't walk up all night, but you get up. You get up. Right. Yeah,
put on some music and dance.
Right, turn on your music, like Dr. Trish just said, and just dance around. Just get moving. Do it for 5 or 10 minutes every hour until you get in, all that motion, and that does energize you as well, and you get positive about it. Just don't sit in silence. Yes, you're gonna turn the news off, but turn something else on.
Audrey, you're our host, and this is our first time. It's our first out of the next 3. Can you tell us who has joined us, say from the Zoom, who's in the Zoom room or who's in the Facebook Live? Can you tell us or give us a sense of that?
Yes. So we were excited to have everybody from, outside looking in and participating. I did post out if anyone had any comments or questions, and
Yeah.
so far nobody has, and that's okay. Sometimes people, especially this first time out, they're just reflecting. They haven't, everyone hasn't had the opportunity to really go inside and pull this out. It's a lot of a lot of pent up emotion. I found myself even a few weeks ago, it just kind of, took its toll on me. Just being in the house, the COVID-19, the murder of George Floyd, and just, just the whole, it was a full weight on me. So, and then different things weren't going right, and this wasn't working and that wasn't working. And, I go down to the vending machine just so I can get a bag of potato chips to eat with my turkey sandwich that I made with provolone cheese, okay, and olive oil mayo on wheat, and the machine ate my money. I had a breakdown. I literally had a breakdown over a 80-cent bag of potato chips. It really wasn't, the whole scheme of things, it was nothing. But all of that compounding, since March 17th, it just came down on me all at once. And, I had a big rant, and I shared that with more than 2 people. But I didn't go on Facebook and post it. But, right.
That's a flow of energy. That was good.
Yeah.
See, but you're talking about food now, and as soon as this meeting's over, I'm going to run out somewhere and get some ice cream.
Oh my goodness! I've got my cheeseburger and French fries that I made on the stove. It's open face, so I'm not going to put the bread on it. Just when I took my camera off for a minute, I smelled it. I said, "Oh my goodness, let me go in there." So I turned that off and ran back in here. But yes.
So you're just like one of those TV commercials. People don't even know they're hungry until they see it.
Right. Should I share the screen right now? Let's pull up some food. Great. Oh no, Marlena says no.
Well, I think we grow more appreciative because just going outside, working in the yard sometimes, it's a good thing. It really is a good thing.
That's therapeutic.
And I was just thinking of, how God provides, because I went to get some mulch. This is just, you were just talking. Went to get some mulch, and because I needed to put down some new mulch. I hadn't had any since last spring. So I went to get some mulch, and I had about 4 bags of mulch in the back of my car. And I thought, gosh, boy, I really need some help trying to get all this out, because the guy put it in the back of the trunk for me. And so I go to open my car, bag my car back so it's close to the yard, so that I can just take the mulch and, just kind of dump it over there and then get it out. Well, the next thing I knew, my cousin actually came by.
Wow.
And he poured out all the mulch. And so, if I had to stay in the house, and you know what, I don't feel like touching that mulch. It's too heavy. But, if you just start something, sometimes, you'll be surprised at what will happen afterwards, And so I thought that was a great example. And another cousin was coming by. And so yesterday, yesterday, I had a friend, she's going to Africa, but I was just outside. I went out to water my flowers, I'm telling you. And she was passing by, and she pulled up in the driveway, and we visited. She came in, and, she was telling me about her trip and everything. So, sometimes you can just walk outside and, things can happen good. And so I think, I'm getting to where maybe I better go outside for a little while. But, you come back in and you work and you do things. But I think the key is that you really appreciate everything. I think we have to get to the point where we learn to appreciate everything. And so I really appreciate having a good conversation. I don't always want to text, I pulled back again a little bit from Facebook, because I am praying, I am, doing the things that I need to do to self-discipline. And so sometimes, you get off the beaten path with the crowd, and that's when things work best for you, and so your energy goes up. You can, you feel better, and everything. But, every now and then, you should talk to someone. There's some people texting and they're on Facebook, but they're not communicating. Every now and then you have to call somebody and say, how are you? Like, I think somebody else said that. Communication is still important for us as human beings. We need to hear a voice sometimes. We need to hear a voice. Facebook is good. I mean, I text my friends all the time. I text business people all the time. But sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I need to hear a voice. And so, that's what I say. Go ahead and pick up the phone and call someone every now and then. It might be, once a week or whatever your schedule can permit. But I really do believe that we need to just talk to each other, even if you just say, how are you? Just thinking about you. Just thought I'd call you. Love you. Sometimes that's what I do. Love you. And if they don't answer, I just say, hey, look, you don't even have to call me back. I just want you to know that I love you and I'm thinking about you. God bless you. Have a great day.
Yeah.
And after I say that, I feel like, hey, I did what I was supposed to do.
Absolutely. As we get close to wrapping up, any last comments? And then at the end, I want us all to say in unison, this too shall pass. Any final comments? We have 2 minutes.
Do you talk to people about what some of the upcoming programs are going to be that we do?
Okay, so I think Linda had mentioned about the next few months, we're going to have table talks. We've got them scheduled all the way to the end of December. We don't have all the topics yet, but next month we'll be talking about finances, and we have it's really called My Money is Funny, what should I do? And following that in September, we're going to be talking about education, different things there. And we also have quarterly webinars set up, and we're going to have a formal financial webinar coming up. So that'll be in October. So every quarter we'll do one, and then there'll be also a formal educational webinar coming up, starting the first quarter in 2021. So the time is going to be moving fast. So look out for those things. Definitely catch our website, TDT.Solutions is our website. TDT standing for Transformational Dream Team. So TDT.Solutions. If you're watching us on Facebook and you haven't liked our page yet, please plug in, like the page, and we look forward to engaging with you further. So if anyone else wants to add anything or to our discussion, please do.
Yes.
We'll close out.
Because people may believe if they go to TDT that the benefits, that there's only a few benefits where you're paying your membership and you're waiting for the quarterly webinar or seminars or whenever we can freely get together. But there are so many other benefits of being a member of TDT. And of course, you already experience the number of people that are here that can give you a positive booster shot whenever you need it. But then there's coaching, there's free books, there's a lot of things. So you want to go to the website and you really want to explore, how can I become a member now and reap the benefits of all these beautiful people that you've seen on this.
Awesome. Yes.
And the one other thing that I would add to that is that when individuals do become members, we're still working through all of that, but you'll have your picture listed, in a directory sort of, and your expertise area, there will be a link to what it is that you do, so that there'll be greater publicity for you. So as we grow and develop, so you're going to be able to be exposed to a larger number of individuals all throughout the country.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. So with that, we want to just thank God for this time that we were able to come together and share with our neighbors. And hopefully we've encouraged you and inspired you to understand, in the heart that this too shall pass, and that that you'll succeed at whatever that is that you endeavor to do. We appreciate you. We're praying for you. And we're just hang in there and reach up. If the rope starts to slip, the pastor used to say, reach up beyond that knot and tie a knot in, and just hang on in there, because this will pass. Everybody in unison, this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
All right, one more time. This
too shall pass.
All right. Thank you, everybody. This is awesome. Really appreciate you being there. TDT Solutions will see you next month when we talk about Your Money is Funny.